if you don't have a clear goal, and if you don't have a plan to reach that goal, nothing's going to happen. And if you don't have a plan for your marriage, like I always just thought, you find the love of your life, you get married, and it all just goes really well after that. You just show up, and wonderful things happen, and you don't really have to do anything or have a plan or a goal. But I've learned that unless you're nurturing your marriage, it will slowly, over time, kind of wither. And year after year, if you're not sowing into it, if you're not deliberate, if you're not intentional, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a plan, it deteriorates. Do any of you that have been married for a length of time realize that too? It like deteriorates if you don't have a plan. So we want to have a plan tonight for very intentional women. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Where there is no vision, the people perish. So we're going to have a vision. We're going to come up with some vision statements tonight for us as wives, if we're married, or maybe a someday wife vision statement, and also a vision statement for our marriages. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit." So we're going to learn about the diligent, intentional women. And 2 Corinthians 9:5 or 9:6 says, "Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously." It's the principle of sowing and reaping. If we don't sow into our marriages, we don't reap anything in our marriages. Again, you can't just like get married, show up and say, okay, it's just going to go great every day for the rest of our lives. You have to actually work at it. I know, like, we don't want to work at it, but we have to work at it. When we have problems, we have to work our way all the way through the problems instead of just wringing our hands in despair, right? So we have to be sowers so that we can reap. So let's choose to become intentional women. We're going to set some goals tonight. Well, what do you want your marriage to be like? What is your goal for your marriage? Do you have a goal? Let's come up with a goal tonight. So, again, we're going to ask God to give us some ideas here. I envision my husband and me being what and what within our marriage. So we're going to pause and ask God to highlight 2 of the qualities below that I listed below, or maybe there's another one that God's going to pop into your brain. That's totally cool. That would really be instrumental in improving your marriage, bringing health and vibrancy and life to your marriage, right? So some of these qualities that you might choose to write in those 2 lines, is God calling you guys to be more emotionally intimate? Is that your goal? Or that you guys would live in peace? That you would have a peaceful marriage? Maybe that you would be more like companions in activities. Or more playful, that your marriage would be more playful. Or more loving. Or that you guys would be more adventurous. Or maybe your goal, one of the goals is counseling, you know what, you guys need to be financially secure. You need to change some stuff. Or maybe that you would be sexually active. And by the way, I'm just going to take a little aside here for all the new people. There's a trend in America where, especially among younger couples, a lot of the men are the ones that are not seeming to be interested in sex. So I just want to say that right up front, that don't feel alone if that is your issue, because there are a lot of young marriages where that is the problem, where the man is not interested in sex. We'll talk about that in a future session too, but anyway, I wanted to throw that in there. Maybe God's saying, I want you to be better friends. Can you be friends with your husband? Maybe He wants you to be spiritually connected with your husband, and that's the goal. Or more loyal. Or your marriage needs to be more forgiving of each other. Or you need to be more respectful of each other. Or is there a lack of affection in your marriage? Maybe He wants you to be more joyful as a couple, more encouraging toward each other, perhaps more open and honest, like really open and honest with each other. Maybe you need to be more patient with each other. Or maybe you guys need to be more optimistic and hopeful. Or maybe you need to be better communicators. Just some ideas. So pause and ask God to show you, okay, what 2 things do you want us to focus on for our marriage? Now, pause again, and what's the action plan? Because writing down that I want to be more joyful, we want to be better communicators, we want to whatever. Okay, now, ask God to give you some ideas. If I do this,